So, you have a sequel in store for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's a sequel to a movie that bombed, only made $38 million off of a $47 million budget. Nobody really likes, seeing as how it had a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes and fans and critics alike hated it. But, maybe we could make a killing in the direct-to-video market.
Hopefully this movie will be more entertaining, even if worse in quality, because the first one was just a fucking slog.
The only thing that you apparently took away from it was some of the implications. Frida being voiced by Sigourney Weaver.
By the way, for the sake of trying to make this commentary more fun, we decided to drag Dwebs into this.
What is a happily never after?
Basically,
let me sum it up for you, Dwebs. Happily Never After is what happens when Cinderella gets tired of her stepmother. So she punches her in the boobs and throws her into a different dimension. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
She gets like something Cinderella 3 would do, minus the boob punch.
Alternate dimension.
It's funny you mention that, Dribs.
So, Cinderella 3, sorry, 3. Not
yeah, it's funny you mention that, Dribs. We pretty much summed up Happily Never After as Cinderella 3, a twist in time, and even Shrek the Third done worse. Essentially, Dwibs, what you need to know is that we're in fairy tale land, a place that's controlled by this storybook and these scales of good and evil. And
by the way, Job is not kidding when he calls it fairy tale land. That's literally what the movie calls it.
Yes.
It's that unimaginative.
And and it's all controlled by, these scales of good and evil. Apparently tipping them in one side too much will cause chaos to erupt, which of course happens when the evil stepmother from the Cinderella story, that's right, characters can just exit their own stories and come to the tower. Because, heck, the tower is where the prince from Cinderella lives. I got a bit mixed up because the continuity in this movie is incredibly messed up. In fact, that's part of the reason why we're bringing you in on the sequel, Dwibs. This movie does not feel like a proper sequel to Happily Never After, and you will see what I mean. But yeah, like I said before, this movie had no reason to exist. It lost money, and it didn't even really have people liking it. Like, sure, maybe nowadays some people look back on Happily Never After with kind of a sense of, oh, it's so bad, it's good. But that does not explain the existence of this god-awful movie.
Guess who's the chap that wrote and directed this atrocity? Alan Edwards, a.k.a. the writer and director of both Hoodwinked movies.
So, I liked Hoodwinked 1, not Hoodwinked 2, so what happened with this movie?
Well,
trust me, this movie's even worse than Hoodwinked 2.
For reference sake, audience, as you recall, Happily Never After had a pretty good cast of Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., Patrick Warburton, Sigourney Flipping Weaver, Wallace Shawn, Andy Dick, Tom Kenny, John DiMaggio, Trace McNeil, and Kaf Susi. Again, quite an interesting.
Here.
Yeah, yep, that's right. None of them returned for this movie. Even Tom Kenny decided that Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was a better waste of his time in 2009 than this sequel. And going...
I'm gonna disagree with him there.
So yeah, instead we have a bunch of new voice actors. Some you will be quite familiar with. We have Helen Nidwick, Cam Clark, that guy famous for voicing Liquid Snake and being pretty much the replacement voice for Simba from Matthew Broderick, Jim Sullivan, Kirk Thornton, Cindy Robinson, David Lodge, and Catherine Levine. So, yeah, it's a direct-to-video sequel off of a mediocre movie. What could possibly go wrong? All right. Oh, wait, that's right. It's a Lionsgate movie, so a lot of stuff can go wrong. From the bold minds that brought you Alpha and Omega, come Happily Never After 2. And we're in trouble because the title itself has problems. First of all, Happily Never After 2. Why is there a 2? Okay, that obvious joke aside, this one is called Snow White Another Bite at, and yes, that's an at symbol, at the apple. That's right, this movie was doing the whole text speech is hip thing before the Emoji Movie was doing it. Joy among joys here. And also, the title, Another Bite, implies that there was an initial bite at the apple, but this is the first time an apple is ever so much as brought up into anything.
Or maybe that's an American thing, because round here it's just called Happily Ever After 2 Snow White.
Good for them. All the same, though, you know we're in trouble when even the title has issues. So let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's dig into this movie. Start at the Lionsgate logo. In 3, 2, 1, click. So, Dwibs, it depends. Did you like Shrek the Third?
No.
Then you may not have liked the first Happily Never After movie, because that basically does Shrek the Third worse.
Oh boy.
It's also Cinderella 3, but worse as well. Basically, evil stepmother unites all the bad guys from all the fairy tale stories. Oh, by the way, of the many Yep, a German film company. Of the many studios that worked on the first film, only 2 returned for this one.
A Kickstarter? Oh, no. Yeah, no, it just says Kickstart.
You know what's interesting, Dibs? Guess who did additional writing for the first movie? Doug Landale. Because I guess I guess he had some bills he needed to pay. I guess I had some gambling debts that needed.
I don't know.
Oh.
Did Dave the Barbarian bomb that badly?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, so we immediately start this movie by establishing that, yes, this takes place after the first movie. And we also immediately start this movie by showing that Mambo is even more annoying than he was in the first one.
Oh, Richard Rich, an executive producer.
Yes, because as we all know, Richard Rich is definitely someone you want to get involved in your animated production.
So this released in 2009.
Richard Rich is the king of schlock. Basically.
Mambo, what are you doing? That was literally the problem of the first movie.
You guys were trying to do everything to prevent this kind of stuff in the first movie. What are you doing?
Now there's, for some reason, Andy Dick's... Well, he's not with Andy Dick anymore, but the cat character now is evil for some reason, even though he was not evil in the first movie. Don't ask me, it just is.
So yeah, Wallace Shawn was replaced by Kirk Thornton, who sadly does not do a good Wallace Shawn impression. Andy Dick was replaced by Jim Sullivan, who sadly does do a good Andy Dick impression. So, continuity problem number 1. Now instead of the prince played by Patrick Warburton, there's the king who is the father of Snow White living in the same palace that the prince was living in the first film. Kind of an issue because we established this takes place after the first movie. Hi, reused animation models.
But they look so much worse here for some reason.
Yes, they do.
So yeah, I've been looking up the directors. Unfortunately, one of the directors, Boyd Kirkland, died a couple of years after this film came out. He'd helmed. He was mainly in the art department for a lot of stuff, including Mask of the Phantasm and others. But he did direct Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero.
That was good.
And some episodes of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Hold on, weird. Like, it's weird. I remember seeing the same name on these things. Hold on. Let me just...
So yeah, Snow White's mother was an incredibly altruistic and friendly being to all the people. Hey, Jack and Jill.
Honestly, this animation is just distracting.
I know, right?
That's my thing. Studios who can't do good CGI films try and do CGI films anyway, knowing full well it's gonna look like this.
Hey, Hansel and Gretel.
As for the other director, Stephen E. Gordon, he's worked on stuff like The Swan Princess and Cool World.
Yeah, never mind. Dibs is right. Corey Edwards didn't work on this. For some reason, I misread that.
And he also directed some episodes of Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, that sucks, honey. You may be ugly, but...
So...
If you
They're like, you're a
yourself,
shitty parent.
So they can do good stuff. So, well, one of them can still do good stuff. The other one's unfortunately passed away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what happened here?
Something amazingly horrible.
I'm guessing a severe lack of budget, and that and their main stick was 2D animation, not 3D.
Oh, sorry, it's time for your schedulely scripted disease that will kill
Fun-
you. Anyway, Mother's dead.
Oh, that was fast.
Well, remember this is a fairy tale. This is kind of how
Yeah.
things go.
It's like Jova said, mandatory, pre-scheduled disease. This
Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I got confused. You see, this is where I got confused. Corey Edwards, the writer of the Hoodwinked movies, is now at the studio, and he wrote and directed their latest movie for Netflix called Fearless.
Well, that was a meme face and a half.
That's what it is.
Okay, wasn't it established that you guys know how these fairy tales go in the last movie? Why are you acting like this is the first time you've seen this story?
maybe they're just playing along, I guess.
You mean okay? Someone just died, and you're having a pop song.
Yes.
Oh, trust me. Wait till we get to Swan Princess 5.
So Snow White, without the guidance of her mother, grew up to be a teeny bopper, apparently. Yeah, so the movie goes from having a somewhat serious, methodical fairy tale tone to now a more modern sense of being.
The mixing on this song sounds very off.
Hell, they even now have cell phones. Magical cell phones.
And look at that, Dwibs. In this version, all the fairy tale princesses are valley girls, kind of.
Oh my god, is this going to be like a princessy version of Bratz or something?
Yes. God, that looks ugly.
I mean, what she's wearing isn't inappropriate, but I kind of get what he's saying.
I don't know. It just looks like the typical princessy outfit to me. What
For-
exactly?
Yeah, it's
I'm guessing
yeah,
that
they just kind of not modernized it, but they kind of, made it like I don't want to say cool either, but you know what I mean. Like they made it,
They
for
made it-
teenagers and whatever.
they made it fashionista style.
Kinda, yeah.
Yes, there is more to it than just that. There's having slaves. Ew, kids. So yeah, Snow White's posse is called the Damsels, which has an African American Bo Peep, a Valley Girl Goldilocks, and this is weird, a Latina sassy Red Riding Hood, even though she was Caucasian in the first movie.
So what did this movie predict Spirit Riding 3 or something?
I don't know.
Confusing.
That's very nice, honey. But next time you speak to me, could you please have your eyes point at my face?
That's just foreshadowing for her breaking curfew, isn't it? Yes, before the rooster crows.
Before the rooster crows, but the rooster only whatever.
I swear, this
Your
guy...
mother did this. Your mother did that.
I swear, this guy sounds like Noah North. Like,
It isn't Christmas yet,
That's the thing. That's more like it's a royal robe. The problem is, why would she just walk around in the middle of a party with that on. It doesn't. Not.
Well,
That's supposed to be only for big occasions, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, if anything, that's actually pretty irresponsible, because what if that thing gets damaged? That's quite important, actually.
don't you see? Her mother wore it. She should follow her mother's example.
Why can't she just, like, why
Just
exactly
tell
does she
him,
have
"It's
to do
my
everything her
mother's."
mom did exactly? Her mom was her mom. She's her. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't think this girl has very good friends.
Do photographs exist in this timeline? It's never exactly established.
Selfies and shit and blah blah blah.
Why are they the most popular ghosts in Fairy Tale Land? They're teenagers, for Christ's sake.
They're title characters, that's why.
I guess the reason that the big bad wolf is still here is sort of following off the implication that the time loop was broken in the first Happily Never After film by Cinderella getting with Rick instead of the prince.
Fun fact: in Brazil, this movie's called Snow White Went Nuts. I'm not even kidding when I say it.
It's not a completely inaccurate title, given what
Yeah,
happens.
that's better than the title we have, actually.
So, guys,
far,
are you
anyway.
enjoying this riveting animation, which, by God, is something to look at? Yeah, get your joust on!
In fact, let me see what other names this movie has on all over the world. Now I'm curious.
Oh, goody, Sir Peter. I wonder who will win.
Yeah, here you go, Brazil. Okay.
Ah, Shrek reference. Why?
Okay, in my country we just kept the two, but then added the Snow White as a subtitle, because in my country these movies are called "And They Didn't Live Happily Ever After."
Huh.
So this movie in Portugal is called "And They Didn't Live Happily Ever After 2, Snow White."
Interesting. Hey there, obvious not bad guy whose face is hidden by a veil.
Well, apparently the composer of this movie is the same as the previous one.
Huh. In Spain, these movies are called "Once Upon a Time, There Was a Tale in Reverse." Get it? A tale in reverse because it's subversive.
Wow.
Wait, what the fuck?
This is a weird jousting session.
Yes, it is. You were saying,
my
Pedro?
The Italian name of this movie is interesting.
What is
Really?
it?
Biancaneve Igli 007 Nani.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
Okay,
hey! It's...
Biancaneve stands
Oh
for
my
Snow
God! Sure, it's Rick's evil twin. Or no, it's actually a totally different character, Sir Peter.
He's literally Rick with his hair behind his ears.
God. Basically, Dibs, for all you need to know, Rick was the male protagonist of the first movie.
Snow White. Okay, I just put it through Google Translate. In English, apparently, it means Snow White and the 007 dwarves.
Yes.
What?
So what? Is James Bond gonna be here?
It's not even just that. I also love how dwarf in Italian is what in Japanese.
Does this movie have a Portuguese title?
I just said this. It's called "And They Didn't Live Happily Ever After."
Oh, sorry. I got it.
Okay, time for a romantic slow dance.
What?
Your mother was a hero of mine. Could you be a lot like your mother?
Okay, that's incredibly awful way to treat someone. Constantly pressure them to live up to their parents.
Also, that's not a very good pickup line. Like, you remind me of your mother.
Your mother was a hero of mine. Also,
be right back.
totally not bad guy foreshadowing there.
What the
Thanks for
fuck?
pointing it out for us, movie.
Did
Yeah,
you find
because
another weird name, Pedro?
Yes, in France, and I've already gone it for Google Translate. The French name for this movie is Once Upon a Time, Snow White, One Apple, Three Little Pigs, Seven Dwarves.
What? Are the three
Maybe-
little pigs in this movie, Pedro? Or
Jova?
Jova?
There technically are, but they have like a few seconds of screen time at best. Shaw.
Yeah, basically they couldn't come up with a new model for the new love interest, so they had to reuse the love interest model from the first movie.
Aw, look at him being supportive of Little Miss Muffet.
Compile Heart would be proud of.
Honestly, Compile Heart could do better than this.
Well, this is what happens when you treat people like shit.
I'm talking about specifically the whole reusing assets aspect.
Oh, that.
Why did you arrange, like, unless she's reading them a bedtime story or something, why did you arrange for her to go visit an orphanage at night? That seems so impractical.
Because
Because
I guess it wouldn't interrupt when the kids are trying to get adopted, I guess. Anyway, okay, one of the few clever bits is that this guy's assistant is called Grimm. Because the brother's Grimm and all that. Translation, I'll only really decide to get a wife if my daughter screws up.
Is this a bit of mist?
Actually kind of a bit. Okay, we've established that there's a creepy lady in Vale watching Snow White, and then the king has talked about how he's lamenting that Snow White's becoming a bit of a handful, and is kind of a teenage brat who doesn't really seem to, well, be in good connection with the townsfolk here and there. So he's contemplating possibly getting a new wife to give Snow White a proper mentor here and there. Oh, by the way, Sir Peter kind of got pissed off that Snow White isn't exactly as nice a person as he thought she would be.
Oh, here, Joe, I think you'll like the name of the movie in Norway. Chaos in Fairy Tale Land 2.
Goody.
So I'm assuming the first one is just Chaos in Fairy Tale Land, which is
Are
interesting
these girls
because
gonna say holla every so often?
which is interesting because the Norway title is the most fitting title so far I found here for this series.
By the way, you ever realize how George Carlin's character... Yes, Dwibs, the first movie got George flipping Carlin. George Carlin's character is no longer in this movie.
Well,
Those
didn't
two
George
killed him
Carlin
off.
passed away the previous year.
I love
Yes.
how the
Happily Never After was actually his last film role.
I love how that rooster's waddle looks more like a natural pair of human testicles because of how badly and plastically rendered it is.
Well, Pedro, I guess you could say that it's an accurate cock.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're cocking this film up.
Oh,
Hilarious.
how is that crown still on your head? Oops.
The CGI of this movie is on par with after last season's.
Busted.
I mean, like I said for the first movie commentary, like that movie's animation wasn't great, but it was good for the type of movie that it was. This is just what I expected in the first place.
In 2009, the standards were above this. Jesus.
Which is interesting because after last season came out in the same year as this movie.
Good God.
I barely saw that movie, and I'm quite thankful for that.
Well, Shiro, here.
Wow, what a
Shiro, here, put
riveting
this shit-
argument. Snow White, you're kind of becoming a bit of a brat. But Daddy, that's so not fair.
It's not fair.
That's not an argument.
Okay, so pretty much he's made up his mind. It's time to get a proper role model for Snow White, which means remarrying.
Remarrying seems drastic, though. Why not just get a nanny or something?
Medieval times, Shiroi, they didn't exactly think things through the best. So Mambo is going to try and tinker with the scales to see if that will supposedly fix the story, because Snow White becoming a teenage brat isn't supposed to be the way the story goes.
Like I've told you various times, Shiro, this was before logic and reason were invented.
And that apparently turns Lady Vane evil. Yes, that's right, Wibs. The villain of this movie is called Lady Vane. Get it? Because she doesn't like how she looks because of her nose and she's vain. Lady Vane. It's so incredibly subtle.
That and her mom in that earlier scene didn't help either, where she horribly body shamed her own daughter by saying, "Oh no, you're ugly, so deal with it."
Well, it's like I said, you're a terrible parent.
Now, this is weird. Why is Rumpelstiltskin back, and why is he a...
Tail lane?
So, now here's a proper question. Why is Rumpelstiltskin back, and why is he apparently a bad guy? Another bout of continuity error. In the end, he was established to have become a good guy. Oh, speak of a devil, here's another continuity error here and there. Apparently this movie is implying that the reason Rick and Cinderella became a couple was because of the fairy godmother. That wasn't the case, though. Oh, also, the evil stepsisters got dates with the trolls.
Like, to give you an idea, the fairy godmother was barely in the first movie.
And yet, this movie is implying that her agency was behind it, except that doesn't make any sense.
I love how those pictures are just there to just remind us, yep, the first movie sure happened.
Yep. And that's the thing, Rick and Ella getting together was the main point of the first movie. The fairy godmother had dick all to do with it. Wow, that's the right place to find a wife? Who thought it could be that easy?
For Grim Royal Associates.
Yes.
Grim Royal Assistants, sorry. Yes, I got that point. The king wants the wife. You have to repeat it like 65 times.
Do you mean someone who looks like that, or someone who acts like the queen? Oh boy. Yeah, there is no explanation at all why Rumpelstiltskin is a bad guy again. He had supposedly reformed at the end of the first movie and was just taking care of the baby with its mother.
Well, isn't he traditionally a bad guy?
He is. The thing is that he kind of reformed at the end of the first movie.
Because one recent thing I've seen him in was a bit of an episode of Once Upon a Time where he blew up the fairy godmother.
Oh, yeah. Rumpelstiltskin is awesome in Once Upon a Time. Anyway, it's time for a montage with another terrible pop song.
You know, this doesn't seem to be much of a musical like you said it was in the first movie's commentary.
Well, so far we've had a person sing one song, i.e. Snow White's mother singing her a song. Apparently they advertised this as a musical. Oh boy, Sleeping Beauty's the first person to try out. Get it? Sleeping Beauty falls asleep. Also, didn't you fall in love with your own particular Prince Charming in the previous movie? That is 1, 2, 3, 5 continuity errors so far from the first film.
Well,
Basically, this movie doesn't give a crap about the first movie, therefore, nor should you.
Honestly, am I the one
Well, I
noticing?
haven't even seen the first movie, so that'd be easy.
Exactly. Also, am I the one who's noticed that not only just in continuity, but in tone, this movie doesn't feel continuous with the first movie. The first movie was much more of a satirical, parody of the fairy tales here and there,
Well, considering none of the writers and directors of the original came back for this, I think that's probably why. Doesn't even seem to be the same
Oh,
producers.
they said it again, Roy.
Burped.
Oh boy, Snow White is now obsessed with jumping Sir Peter's bones. Why? Because he danced with her. I don't know why all of a sudden she's thirsty for him, but she just is.
Because it's funny, shut up.
Now.
Also, why is Cinderella's eye so soulless?
Cinderella?
Isn't that the blonde one?
No, that's Goldilocks.
Oh, Goldilocks, that's it, yeah. Why are Goldilocks' eyes so soulless?
Oh boy. I don't know. Terrible, terrible, terrible animation there. Fun fact, actually, Goldilocks is played by Kate...
Yeah, Royal Jim, huh?
Yeah. Fun fact, actually, Pedro, Goldilocks is voiced by Kate Higgins, who you may remember. Yeah, who you may remember
because
is
that poor woman doesn't seem to have very good, whatever.
You may remember her from being the new voice of Kate in the Alpha and Omega sequels.
Yay! Maybe it's probably Richard Rich who dragged her back in here.
Also,
let's take a hope Lionsgate pay a lot.
Also, Dwibs, fun fact, you know the guy playing Grimm? That's Lex Lang.
Well, I mean, there wouldn't be another Crash Bandicoot game for another 7 years or so.
Hey, Snow White, I found a woman who...
8 years, sorry.
Hey, Snow White, we found a woman who literally has your mother's face and everything. That won't creep you out or traumatize you at all, I'm sure, right? Right?
You see, honey, I found this woman that looks exactly like your mother, so I decided to marry her again. That way we can perfectly replace your mom and it's like she never died. Because that's good parenting.
I have several concerns, Daddy.
Well, too bad. I'm king and I say it goes.
What?
Yes.
When the cow jumps over the moon.
Get it? Because that's
Okay. It's bad enough. Why are you taking plot points from Hey Diddle Diddle?
Because it's a fairy tale, and if it's a fairy tale, that automatically means we can reference it. Is it sad that I'm kind of siding with the villain here? Snow White's been kind of a brat this movie.
Yeah, but so far she's just been this stereotypical girl who likes to chat with my friends and all that stuff.
Hell, Lady Vane had it worse. She had apparently a terrible childhood with a mentally abusive mother who passive-aggressively suggested that, oh, I don't really think you're ugly, except I actually do think you're ugly.
Like, that's child abuse, by the way. Just...
Like, honestly, in some ways, Lady Vane is the person who's had the worst stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure
oh
if it was mentioned.
My god!
Well...
Siri, did you hear what the mirror had to say about Snow White? She's looking
okay, like, fairest of them all just means that somebody's, pretty. But the way that line was delivered, like, ugh.
She's still a teenager in this movie.
Creepy mirror. But yes, I'm not sure if it was...
I'm guessing she's 18 by this point, though?
Nope, apparently implied to be 15.
I thought she'd be like 16, considering she's going to parties.
That body's not the body of a 16-year-old, to be honest. But whatever.
People age differently.
You were saying, Shiroi?
I can't remember right now. It'll come back to me.
Oh, hello, Apple.
Oh, no, I know what it was. I'm not sure if it was mentioned while I was away, but I don't hate, like, to give Dwibs an idea, I don't hate this supposed villain so far. Like, she hasn't really done anything wrong. She just kind of wants a better life, it seems. In the first movie, although this particular character wasn't the villain, our male lead looked like a complete ass compared to the prince, even though we're supposed to side with our protagonist. Like, the prince is just a well-meaning goofball, but like, the movie writes the interaction so poorly that you end up hating the person you're supposed to side with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So get this. Somehow they instantly know what the Apple's going to do, and get this. You'd think the Apple would kill Snow White or make her fall into sleep. No, actually, what it actually does is make her spout gossip. No, seriously, that's it. The Apple will make her spout gossip. Sure, yes, that does end up biting her in the rear end, but what a weird thing to choose to go for. I guess it's this more modernistic take and stuff.
Also, why are our eyebrows constantly moving up and oh my god, Snow White now has a solar size too.
It's contagious.
It's like that eyebrows meme.
Jesus Christ. It's like she looks exactly like when Winnie the Pooh eats honey. where you saw Gogi.
From which
Like,
movie? Because he does that in every movie.
All of them. Like I wish I was watching
Yeah.
2011 right now.
Yes, the movie is literally telling you to get on with it.
Yeah, and even the characters of the movie are fed up for you.
Yeah, it's official. Lady Vane's my favorite character. She's in tune with me on this.
So let me get this straight. You have Disney Plus, but instead of using it to watch Pooh 2011, you decide to watch both Gnomeo movies.
Yeah.
Wait, are they on Disney Plus?
You really need to occupy your time better.
No, but basically, Dwibs, in I can't remember if I mentioned it during the first movie's commentary. I at least mentioned it before that, but I did mention that me and Alice watched the duology, and they're pretty bad.
Oh boy.
What, Romeo and Juliet?
Yes, that.
And Sherlock
and
Gnomes.
Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh boy, I haven't seen them, to be fair. But... Robbie. Okay, does the fairy godmother show up at any further point in this movie?
She showed up once, I think, so far.
That one, that's Cinderella Dwibs. That's for the first.
No, I meant
movie.
does the fairy god? I meant does the fairy godmother show up again?
We've seen her
no.
once, but
So what happened? Did
See, you see,
yeah,
it
it
once,
was
the rooster.
yeah, it's like once upon a time, but she got blown up.
Well,
So
good,
turns
just-
out you were wrong, right, King? The rooster crows when the sun rises. Did you really want your daughter to arrive literally in the dawn of the next day?
Oh, let's be fair. He said he wanted her home before that.
Well, I know, but before can mean literally a minute before it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
He's
Just-
very lax.
I guess.
Oh, junk in the trunk. How old are these characters again? Jesus Christ. Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, God.
Please don't give us a close-up of that face. Like, seriously, for a full second there, she's... yeah, every time they do a close-up of her, it seems like her left eye goes lazy.
Oh no, she's on a gossiping rampage!
So this apple's a truth serum?
Maybe it reveals the true person inside? They just say it's gossip, so yeah, let's go with your theory. Because the movie sure doesn't
I mean, this
explain
must
it
be
well.
what she thinks of people, because you wouldn't just say that.
And you know, gossip does tend to kind of be that.
Even if you don't mean it, gossip is something infectious, and yeah, it can lead to bad places.
I don't know. Personally, I just prefer both me and whoever else is that's doing the gossip between each other to just let it all out from from both parties, not just me, and get all that shit out. That's done, and we're both on equal terms right now, so we can just move on from that. There you go.
I guess we're about to see the result of what that happens when Snow White lets it out amongst the people. Everybody stare at her.
We're judging you.
Well, it's not like she talked about you guys.
Actually, she apparently did gossip about
Oh.
everyone.
Why didn't we see any of that?
Montage off screen.
Oh, great, off screen. Glib's favorite.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Wait. Okay, let's kill her.
Basically, there's Snow White has basically spelled out her real feelings about everybody in the kingdom, and she thinks everybody in the kingdom are a bunch of plebs. So
That or the apple just controls her to gossip, even if it's not what she really thinks. Again, it's not
really
clear.
They didn't really explain it.
Even the ducks hate you.
So get this, now the town wants to murder Snow White.
Well, who would
Yeah.
want... Okay, murder's a bit extreme for this, but who would want a queen who shit-talks her people?
Oh yeah, that I understand, but dang, straight up murder? Holy cow.
Not for nothing, sure, but whether or not they want a queen, in monarchies that the people don't decide who becomes queen. Or
Well, apparently these people are enough to chase out the potential queen. Even your dad's against you on this, honey. I'm running away to my safe space.
Listen, honey. My hair doesn't move, and I don't complain, do I?
I put way too much gel on this thing.
Wow, you gave up pretty easily.
Spit on her. Spit on her.
Nah.
Let me guess. He's the only one she didn't say anything horrible about.
No.
I think she did.
Actually, she did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
He was actually the last one we saw her speak about.
You know what this means, right, Lips?
Hmm?
Because I'm starting to think I know where this plot is going. Joba, stop me if I'm getting anything wrong. I'm going to bet that this is going to be a lesson in humility. Because this is clearly building up to something like that. A lesson in humility for Snow White, where Snow White's going to learn the value of being nice and blah, 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 and, being caring to each other and yeah.
Kind of, sort of. Well, I'll just let you wait and see. Anyway, the magic carpet returns from the first movie.
Oh my god, that face.
That's right, Monk and Mambo are gonna try and solve stuff once again.
Yes, because it worked out so well in the last time, didn't it?
Kinda, sorta. They were there for comic relief, and, yeah, I guess they did eventually get that book off the scales. Hey, it's genius. We can hide our lack of animation by having them be up in the clouds. Also, you literally flew out of the tower window just to get back to the tower. Huh.
to be fair, at least unlike Gladiatormers 2, this movie doesn't suddenly hit the pause button for like a minute and a fucking half. So there's that.
So Snow White ran all the way out into the woods. Guess that safe space must be way out in the boondocks, and
Okay,
goody!
So we know she's gonna run into the cottage of the dwarves. Yeah,
And here's quite possibly the biggest continuity error. See, it was established in the first Happily Never After movie that the dwarves already knew Snow White. Yet, this is apparently going to be established how they meet.
Nah, the first movie never happened, Trevor.
Yeah, I'm a princess.
Except we literally showed the last bit from it at the start of this movie.
Breaking into someone's house and stealing their food.
Okay,
Queen.
so here's the thing. In the original...
That's the thing. I'm not a specialist, but I think in old monarchies of this time, kings and queens were above the law.
Oh, yes, technically. However, that doesn't make it any less, bad of her. See, here's the thing. In the original tale...
I'm just saying that, yeah, I was just stating it. Go ahead.
In the original tale, Snow White had the saving grace that, when she broke in, she cleaned and tidied up the place, instead of just ransacking it for food and a place to stay. This Snow White, though, no, we thought we'd think outside the box and have her be an absolute selfish brat.
Oh god, the dwarves are scary.
No longer voiced by Tom Kenny and John DiMaggio. Funny you should mention that. And you're Scottish all of a sudden, even though you were more southern in the first movie. Of course you were friends with the Queen. Were her milkshakes the ones that brought you to the backyard as well?
The Queen was freaking Jesus, okay? You need to be more like your mom because... well, just because. Fuck individuality.
I mean, okay, to be fair, I don't think the message is so much that she has to be like her mom, but she should at least be more altruistic, kind, and caring like her mom was. Like, Snow White's kind of, well, been a brat, an absolute brat, and, as is established, that's not how a proper ruler should rule. I mean, look, her being ousted got her ran out of flipping town, which is kind of a sign that she may want to clean up her act.
I don't know. I still get a lot of horrible pressure vibes from the way this movie is.
Oh, do not get me wrong. This movie will in fact fumble the message, and it will go into some pretty terrible implications later on. So your point kind of does have a sting. Also, apparently recalling her entire story took so long that it went into the nighttime, apparently.
It's like if I touch Dwez and go, Dwez, you're so terrible at editing your playthroughs. Why can't you be more like your Uncle Bob? Yeah, good old Uncle Bob. Now, he was a true video editor. Not like you, Dwez. You need to be more like him.
Sure.
Okay, now the movie's saying it. Well, okay, it's saying that it would fix her up into the woman her mother would have wanted her to be, which I guess the dwarves know what her mother would have wanted. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh my god, Joe, I just had a fun. You know how what's his name? The love interest?
Sir Peter?
Sir Peter. What if Peter because Peter said earlier that she reminds him of his mother, remember?
Well, more actually reminds him of her mother until he found out that she's a brat who doesn't care for the peasants and the riffraff.
That too, yeah. What if when they get married, that also falls into the relationship? You know, honey, your mom was much better in bed than you are. Why can't you be more like your mom?
Oh my god. That would imply that Sir Peter had relations with her mother and,
He would have been a child. That's weird.
And that would mean that her mother would have been a pedophile, and then that would mean that we would have to cancel her mother.
And then Peter's like, okay, honey, I'm gonna go to work, and could you please take care of the kids? And like, why should I take care of the kids? I'm queen. If it was your mom would have done it if I had asked her.
Also, do not make me imagine Monk with Breasts, Please movie.
God damn it, honey, why can't you be more like your mom?
Don't worry, audience. It gets worse. Also, we're over halfway through with this movie.
I'm surprised you didn't talk to us about this when you described this movie to us, Joe, because seriously, this angle of horrible pressure is terrible.
It needed to be seen to be believed without any prepping whatsoever. I just told you guys, this movie is worse than the first movie. That was all I was going to say. You know, that's the thing. Lady Vane just doesn't come off as that evil. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's technically doing stuff that was wrong by tricking Snow White into revealing her true colors. Though, honestly, in a lot of other stories, she'd be considered the good guy for that. I guess she's mainly bad because...
Yeah, it was more beneficial to the kingdom, honestly, even if the methods were, off.
Unethical.
So basically what the movie tries to do is have her be all bossy and whatnot to make it so that, oh, she's totally the bad guy and everything. It's just like, again, here's the thing. Her doing what she did...
that makes you, then to make you evil.
You know, movie, here's the problem. Lady Vane doing what she did is what's going to cause Snow White to become a better person, so technically Lady Vane saved the day.
Also, she was basically she was verbally abused by her mother, and she just wants a better life. This was her way of doing it.
That's how Aaron lives, too incompetent to walk.
But Pedro, did you see that little rock in the ground was totally enough to trip her.
And still not as bad as Tita's being too incompetent to eat.
What?
It makes sense in context.
In the beginning of the first... I disagree.
Oh, goody, it's time for another pop song.
I know, right?
We're about to get to that bit with the Three Little Pigs.
Crappy pop song.
There, the Three Little Pigs.
This entire movie is full of crappy pop songs.
And 2 songs that are actually sung by the characters. For some reason, they tried to market this as a musical.
Did they? Because so far it hasn't been.
Back when the movie was being marketed.
Also,
Snow White looked baked there all of a sudden.
I know, right?
There's plenty of shots where she looks baked. In fact, there's plenty of characters in this movie that sometimes look baked.
Why did the movie just accentuate Snow White's butt there?
Because.
They did that earlier with one... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Pedro.
Like I said, Shiroi, sometimes her left eye goes lazy. Because, I don't know.
Okay, BS. Was Snow White holding up that wall? Was she the one holding up all the weight there?
Yeah,
that's something you should get a professional to do.
So basically, the dwarves force her into labor.
Well, the idea is that she learns to be a more caring person who can help.
But this is, again, stuff that professionals like them should be doing.
Don't you see, Shiroi? If you have somebody do some community service, that automatically... It teaches them about the values of hard work. Yeah, remember, the little pig's from one of the titles.
Oh, so that's where the
Oh, don't.
French title comes from.
That's
Well,
pretty
that
much
was an
all.
awkward edit.
That's pretty much all we see of the pigs until the final climax, if you can even call it a climax. Also, movie, you really seem to like to accentuate that breast jiggle physic there.
They know their priority when it comes to budget, I guess.
I guess if they're trying to make Lady Vane the most appealing character, bazing.
Or like bazongas.
Well, but I mean, this film's so enthralling. So
Wait, maybe they're accentuating them for the time when she gets punched in the breast like the evil stepmother did in the first movie.
Oh, please, please. Can we please have Snow White punch Lady... In fact, no, actually, no, the opposite. Can we have Lady Vane punch Snow White in the boobs?
My god, you two are useless.
Also, yes, Lady Vane is doing another good thing. She's getting rid of those two.
Yeah.
You know, I can't hate her, you know?
You know, getting somebody
we've
who
only
doesn't
got
know...
like 20 minutes left. How are you gonna fit all this in?
Oh, Dwibs, they will find a way to fit quite a bit in. So, what better place to babysit than for the old woman who lives in a shoe? Okay, now this actually makes sense.
Since I'm a shallow, superficial teenager, that means I am a makeup expert.
To be fair, if there's one thing she has been shown to be obsessed with, it's makeup, so I guess this is something she's actually good at. Almost?
I will never understand the appeal of makeup. I prefer people in natural.
Ah!
It's up to the individual.
I guess it's just that, like when I'm trying to, you know, kiss a person, like it becomes a hassle.
It's definitely...
I don't see how that...
Like, for example, Shiroi, like if someone with makeup, with lipstick kisses me, then I have to clean my face now, don't I? So
Yeah.
it's annoying. You just dirtied my face. Thanks. Like, it's incredibly.
Okay, so how's it gonna be like a baby?
It's death to makeup.
Ah.
Does baseball exist in this world?
Okay, kids. I will play with you, but you have to promise to make sure your eyes have life in them. Can you do that? No? Well,
No.
then, fuck off.
They're just children, Pedro.
Yes, no, those are not children, Shiro. Those are minions that were created by Satan to... You know what, I don't even know where the hell I'm going with this joke, so whatever. And of course they do the generic, you know, the same shit that the triplets from Brave do. You know, the game mistakes being annoying for being funny and charming. So
I think here most like in Brave it was a little different, but I think here they're just trying to get her attention because she hasn't been looking after them like she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
These are some very bored children, and what they're doing makes sense. It doesn't make them any less annoying, mind you, but I
Wait,
get it.
Soccer? There's a soccer ball? Does soccer
We have
exist?
selfies here. Of course, there's football.
Mud. Oh my god, that shot was terrible.
Again, if you don't have the budget to do CGI convincingly, don't do CGI.
Also, they couldn't have put
This,
like
high five. There you go.
they couldn't have put flat splotches of brown on her dress or anything. It's like, no, she's perfectly clean.
You just did the movie equivalent of my argument of if you can't do 3D models look great, use sprites instead.
A movie made of sprites.
No, I said that he said the movie.
I know, but you made me imagine a movie made out of sprites. Oh! Okay,
actually.
now it's time for the second time for a song to actually be sung by a character. That makes it totally musical. The Mockingbird song. Good old public domain.
They blew all their budget, so public domain music it is.
Public domain saves us again.
Yay.
By the power of public domain.
So because she sings, that somehow means that now she's created a bond with the children. Yeah, that makes sense. Because this is something that even Walt Disney himself would laugh at.
Oh.
Why is this relevant to what, like, it's such a random song. It's not even a song about learning a lesson or anything. It's just
Wow.
Mockingbird.
Suddenly the orchestra grew a pair.
Like, apparently. Oh God, that girl's eyes were terrifying.
Oh God, she's dead inside.
Look at the girl's
She's
eyes.
dead.
Look at that. You see, you're telling me, Shiroi, that that's a child. That's not a child, Shiroi.
Wait, oh my God, guys, the children are frozen. What is going on? Are we in the Nexus? Are we in some time dimension here? What's going on?
The kids realized what film they were in and locked up.
So Snow White bonded with the kids via Mockingbird.
Oh, goody.
Sure.
Now, here's where the movie quote-unquote gets down to business. Snow White has a help center. She'll help you with anything.
That's so vague.
Help center?
Yes.
Okay, look.
She'll help you with anything. Anything. Hey,
Snow White, could you go to my work for me?
hey,
Thanks.
hey, Snow White, could you file my taxes for me? Thanks.
Can you pay my rent?
Snow
Snow White, can you conquer the world for me?
Then an 18-year-old comes. Hey, Snow White, none of the girls I meet will pop my cherry. Could you do that for me? Thanks.
And then another one comes up. Hey, Snow White.
Seriously.
And then another person
Seriously.
goes.
It's help. Like, seriously, the help center apparently doesn't specify.
Oh, no. Let's go even further. Hey, Snow White, my wife is cheating on me. Could you help me with that? Or better yet, Snow White, I have trouble finding a certain romantic partner. I need you to scour the land and find me several for a harem.
Why is that powder puff so big?
I have an even better
know.
question. I love how Peter happened to be right there on the door, listening right when she says the incriminating stuff.
Convenient, ain't it?
All with the evil laugh.
Convenient
Yes.
writing saves us again.
Hey, Snow
Oh,
White.
hi, Humpty Dumpty.
Hey, Snow White, can you help me kill a person? What? You said you would help me kill a person. Look, your mother...
Hey,
Look, your mother helped me crucify children, okay? When are you gonna make that kind of commitment? Also,
there you go. There you go, Pinocchio. Now, never start saying that David Cage games are good again, okay?
all right.
Humpty Dumpty also looks soulless in his terrible smile.
Aw, Snow White realizes that it's okay if her dad marries another person. Ha! Even she admits that she was a prat.
But don't you see, guys? She found the happiness of helping others.
That's the thing.
Sure.
That's the
Great,
thing.
That's wonderful.
It's funny. Even Snow White herself is going, hey, if my dad wants to remarry, that's fine. Literally the only reason we have to go stop... Oh, wait, hold on.
By the way, Snow White, this movie sucks monkey dick. Could you help
Hey!
us with that?
To make
Holla!
it better.
She made it a thing, Shiroi.
Shiro is taking a vow of silence on this matter.
Oh, hey, little boy Blue.
A vow of silence on what?
Basically, Shiroi, Snow White now made the saying, holla, a common tea in the kingdom now.
Why?
Because we're hip, Shiro.
Say hello or hi, even.
Okay, so literally.
Or even better, actually, no.
Oh,
she's too
there
young.
you go, Dwibs. The cow jumped over the moon.
So when's the disc gonna run away with the
What?
spoon?
Okay. Is that a reference that's lost on me? Why
Hey,
is there a
diddle
cow
diddle.
jumping over? Hey diddle, I don't think I've
Hey,
seen
diddle
that
diddle, the
read
cat
or
and the
whatever.
It's a
fiddle.
nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not really familiar. We don't really have Dozy over here.
So, literally, the only reason we need to stop Lady Vane is because Sir Peter overheard her cackling evilly. Like, honestly, let the girl be queen. There was no implications that she was going to abuse her power whatsoever. I mean, sure, she acted like a jerk, but just, I don't know, give her some rehabilitation or something.
When I think of cows jumping over moons, that just makes me think of maybe it's an Earthworm Jim joke. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if actually Earthworm Jim got that idea from the nursery rhyme.
I wonder if they've ever parodied it ever.
maybe the new game will. Oh yeah, fun fact, we were talking about sprites earlier. Guess what, Joe? The new game is using sprites, as shown in the teaser trailer.
How nice. Just hang on for dear life and pray to God that this doesn't kill us!
You know, just because you're now
I can fly.
Just because the script now contrived you into being quote-unquote caring, that doesn't mean you're now suddenly physically capable. Sorry, honey. That's not how it works.
Oh, hey, Monk and Mambo. You know, whereas Monk and Mambo at least met with the main female protagonist by, like, the halfway point of the movie, here, they literally just meet Snow White at the last minute. These guys were so useless this movie.
Fucking brilliant.
Till death do you part, blah, blah, blah.
We didn't even see her properly help the people.
What, Snow White?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Trey? We saw her saw Pinocchio's nose down to size and fix Humpty Dumpty. Also, hey, damsels.
Also, what do you mean fashion police? You were fine with her outfit before.
I have no idea.
Yeah, marriage first, then that later.
You'd think they'd wait for their daughter, you know? It's like, your daughter's gone missing and you're rushing through this.
Well, my dear, I have a kingdom to run now, don't I?
So there you go. Snow White pretty much goes, if you really do love Lady Vane, go ahead and marry her. But if you're marrying her only because you wanted to get me a new parent, I've changed.
Not to mention...
So Lady Vane actually does bring up a good point.
Yeah.
But then, it's time for the part where the audience come to her defense.
No, she never... we never saw... Well, okay, we saw this one.
Technically, we did
Pixar, it didn't happen.
We did see her technically help out with rebuilding the houses.
We did see her help Humpty Dumpty also. But...
Put it up on Leaf Book or it never happened.
Exactly.
As for all the other good things she did, off screen.
Would it be called Fairy Book here or something?
Oh, hey, time for the speech.
Yeah, Fairy Book. Well, Nino Kuni 2 was a fairy tale as well, so technically...
How adorable. No! It was.
Well...
Wait, why is she going cuckoo all of a sudden? She wasn't like this before.
Not only that, the king never said that the wedding was off.
Nobody said the wedding is off.
Well, okay, let's just kill Snow White now.
Yeah, because the king had more than one reason to marry her. It wasn't just to help Snow White. It was because she basically is the spitting image of his dead, ex-wife.
Which
And,
has
like-
horrible implications, but
Oh,
yeah,
God!
no, it really is. But yeah, he never said the wedding was off, and Snow White never implied she wanted to break up this wedding. Ever. No one implied this. Where is this coming
Oh,
from?
look at how sloppy this is. Monk and Mumble literally got knocked back into their room. How does that work?
explain.
The room is nowhere near.
This is bullshit.
let me just explain, Shiro, because I actually am familiar with this terrible script writing trope. Basically, Shiro, this is what happens when the writer knows that at some point in this formula, the evil villain is supposed to go angry and, go ballistic on the heroes. But the writer doesn't seem to understand why the villain does that. He just knows it's supposed to happen. He doesn't know what the actual reasons usually is. So he just has the thing happen without any reason. That's the thing. It's literally being formulaic to a fault, to the point where you just play the formula without even understanding why the formula is even a thing.
How does that work?
I don't know.
I've given. This movie hasn't exactly gripped me.
So, it's funny you mentioned that, Dwibs.
What about gripping?
It's to say Lady Vane lost grip on her mirror, and now this causes it to shatter. And I'm pretty sure Snow White should have been cut to ribbons by those glass shards flying into her.
Yeah.
Or be blinded.
Yeah, she should have been dead like Doc Ock's wife in Spider-Man 2. Oh, but don't you see? You always have your inner beauty.
And that's it for Rumpelstiltskin. He's just gonna leave.
Even though you're bland as fuck. Personality-wise, I mean.
It's a shame. Lady Vane was shaping up to be the best character in this movie, but right at the last second, they have her go
Why are you
psycho
giving her a
killer.
lecture on being beautiful? She tried to kill you.
But don't you see, Dwaves? That's because Snow White learned the importance of forgiveness and the importance of being nice and
Forgiveness? She tried to kill you.
Don't worry, she'll be redeemed off
And
screen.
now the seven dwarves are going to put her to labor as well. So great. There you go, dwarves. Here's your next labor slave. Like.
Ew.
This movie.
Oh god, this movie is bad. Are you having fun yet, Shiroi?
No.
Hold on, I want to hear this. I want to hear what she's going to say.
Well, I know we really came for a wedding, but what the hell? Let's party.
Yay, we nearly blind our princess to get blinded, but fuck it, let's party.
You two have not interacted for most of this movie.
And now they're a couple.
I mean, the writing in the first movie wasn't, great, but I can at least believe the two of them would end up as a couple. These two just...
Oh.
Whatever. Also, you don't deserve that pipe organ.
God.
It's funny. Just funny.
No, it's not.
Also, did I hear that right, by the way?
What?
Yes.
Oh god. Please don't.
Oh, King Nolan North all of a sudden spouting shades. Oh,
The movie just gave up on having any kind of integrity or dignity. So now we're just gonna go full pandering and cringiness. Enjoy.
wait, what's the mother from the Rumpelstiltskin story doing here? Oh, whatever. Who cares?
Whatever, doesn't matter. Did I hear that correctly? Did she literally just... There you go, Jova. She literally just said her...
Oh,
she said,
Pedro, look! It's a cutscene from King's Quest VII! And they
I don't know,
all
I think
lived
even-
happily ever
I
after.
think even King's Quest 7 has better visuals than this.
The end. Thank
But,
God for that.
Okay. She literally said when she was put on the rope, "I hope you guys will be able to love my mom. Sorry, love me as you've loved my mom." So even she's now, caving into the pressure.
Well,
Even she now is falling for the whole "I must be just like my mom" thing. So there you go, everybody. After browbeating her into how much more she needs to be like her mom, she finally caved in, and now the mental abuser is now victorious. So you see, everybody, the moral of the story is, if you don't like someone, just badger that person until that person becomes someone that you prefer that person to be like, because that's good relationship.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Snow White was a terrible person beforehand, but I don't know. The way that her change is so immediate feels like she was brainwashed into being a quote-unquote better person than actually naturally becoming a good person. Like, what? Was it all part of the Mockingbird song? Like, her mother implanted, like, a secret code in her mind that as soon as she recited the song Mockingbird, suddenly she would be like her mother. All free will drained from her all sense of being. And now she will be the good person, the good wife, the good daughter that everyone wants.
And I need to bring this up again. Snow White literally just gave the 7 dwarves a new labor slave to work for them.
But Pedro, it's okay because
and that's supposed to be Lady Vane's somewhat happy ending, I guess.
don't you see? They show everyone smiling happy at the end with the happily ever after bits.
I don't. But she's now being. But she's now gonna have to do slaver work for the dwarves. How is that a happy ending?
Don't you see? I guess, like Snow White, she'll become a better person and more in tune with the people.
Okay, so let me basically recap this movie. You see, Shiroi, mental abuse is A-okay, and forcing people to slave labor for you is also A-okay. There you go.
Can somebody get HR in here, please?
Happily never after 2, everybody.
Can I go first with my final thoughts?
Go right ahead,
go
dudes.
ahead.
I'm not, again, I haven't seen the first movie.
You don't need to, trust me.
But I mean, this one is just, no.
I know.
It's just, I mean, I'll be honest, I'll probably forget about this movie tomorrow. And that's not just because of my naturally forgetful nature, I assure you. Everything about this movie, it just goes in one ear and out the other. Hell, I'll be honest, the movie was so boring I had a hard time concentrating.
I don't blame you.
Well,
It's
what
just-
do you think of the 2 wonderful morals, I guess, that this movie conveys at the end that I've just described?
Pedro, I think the more accurate word is warnings.
Also, Dwibs, what if I told you that the first movie was far more boring than this?
Yeah, believe it or
Oh,
not, this
great.
movie is believe it or not, this is the entertaining one.
Yeah, this is the one that's far easier to talk about.
Oh boy, what fun.
Good thing you weren't here for that, I guess.
Except for the fact, Shiroi, that there's a woman being punched in the boobs by another.
Something that makes no sense, but yeah, carry on, Dwibs.
Oh yeah, that's right, Pedro. I'll
Yeah,
ask you
that's
later.
the thing. I got not much else to say other than that. It's just a dull. It's just a dull movie, and that's it.
Yes, Jova?
Well, you told us that you were going to tell Vanessa about that, and you would tell us her reaction.
Oh
to-
yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, she told me, and I'm quoting, wouldn't it make more sense for her to punch her in the face? I mean, yeah, that would hurt, but it not to the extent that you're thinking. She said this to me, not to the extent that you're thinking right now. So she was just baffled. Well, that's all. Cause I'm still okay. As for my final thoughts, well, this movie was something.
Yeah.
We have incredibly horrible treatment of fairy tale lore. We have the horrible message that mental abuse. How do you make someone behave better? How do you make your daughter see the light and not be an irresponsible dickhead? Simple. Mental abuse her into being more like her dead mom.
That's the
There
thing.
you go.
Technically, Snow White only became a good person because it got so bad that the town literally ran her out of town.
But she sang Mockingbird with the kids, and that's somehow whatever.
I'm wondering if that brainwashed her.
Yeah, that and the mental abuse. And it's also wonderful how the dwarves in this movie are apparently any woman that they find, they turn that woman into their labor slave.
Well,
Because
don't you see?
someone was forced to work on that wooden shack or whatever the hell that was.
Oh, well,
And
the Free
now Snow
Pig's
White just
house
said,
is...
don't worry. Don't you see? You have to learn the happiness. When you learn the happiness of helping others, you'll, like me, you'll be able to see how outer beauty doesn't matter. So here, go work for the dwarves. See ya.
Well, don't you
What?
see? Working for the dwarves helps Snow White, so working for the dwarves will bring out the best in Lady Vane.
What is up with writers? What is up with writers who don't understand the horrible things that they're doing sometimes? It's like okay, it's these kinds of things like that I keep pointing out. Like, you see, Mary Jane breaking JJ Sun's heart horribly on church is not a happy ending. It's a sad ending. Sorry, it's not.
Oh, it's happy for Peter at least, but this is, I mean,
Well, it's happy for Snow White and the King, apparently.
honestly, I'm just wondering if they're all baked like Shiroy suggested.
And,
They look like they're all baked. I mean, it would make sense with everything that's going on.
Hell, King Noah North, that's what I'm calling it, because he sounds exactly like Noah North from Spear Fighting 3, even spouts a pair of sunglasses in the end, like...
But aside from that, yeah, the animation sucks, the music is whatever, and the story doesn't work because it makes no sense. The end.
Shiroy.
Well, that was
Did I?
definitely something compared to the first movie, which was, like I said, very boring.
Like I said, no women punching each other in the boobs. Ruined forever.
And, well, I don't hate...
You've ruined the Happily Never After franchise.
I don't hate our villain. I don't like our cast. Everybody is... Like, their morals are very askew. Terrible pop songs.
Don't you just love how the villain at the last second becomes psychotic murder psycho chick?
Someone needs to keep an eye on that magic mirror also.
Oh, it's
Seriously.
Joe, but not for nothing. That's like the second to last second. The last second, last I checked, is that she becomes a labor slave for the dwarves. That's what happens.
Ugh.
So, sure, what do you think of the wonderful mental abuse demonstration of this movie?
Yeah, because it's totally acceptable to call your daughter ugly. It's not acceptable. It's you're a terrible mother.
What about the pressure into you suck because you don't like your mom thing?
Yeah, that's. I mean, to be honest, like, I kind of read it a little bit as though because she said like what you love, because what she actually said was what you loved about my mother, I hope you can love about me. So maybe she means specific qualities, but the movie does such a bad job at explaining what it actually means. It does come across very weird and much worse. I'm not sure if I'm giving the movie too much credit. I probably am. But
You are.
yeah, again, it's so vague. I just don't really know what to say about that at all. It's terrible either way, I guess. Very toxic reason to marry a woman, like, because I get the whole monarchy side, as you said. It's like, oh, I need a wife kind of thing. That was pretty normal. But like, oh, she looks like my dead wife. Like, that's not gonna help you get over her at all.
And I'm sure that'll totally help your daughter too.
Don't you see, Shira? This was back in the Middle Ages, where men just looked at women as property. So whatever. I found a good replacement. There you go. This works.
I don't know. Like, despite that, he seems to treat her quite well.
Yeah.
Like, it's.
Yes.
Even though it's in the Middle Ages, they cut Pedro.
Well, Shira, maybe that he does that in the open, but later, when in privately, who knows what he does?
To be fair, okay. To be fair, Pedro, yes, Pedro, this is totally the medieval ages with magical cell phones, soccer, baseball, sporting
Pop
events,
music.
and pop music, and newspapers too. Continue, Shiroi.
Satire?
Oh, that's the thing. Whereas the first movie did feel like it was going for the satirical thing, this sequel honestly feels like it's trying to play the whole mythology thing straight, aside from the modern stuff.
Mm-hmm. Carry on.
No, that's it, really. This is just a terrible, terrible movie. And yeah, you were right, Jova. This was far worse than the first one.
Yep-a-roo.
Way more entertaining, though, just because of the hilariously horrible implications that it has.
Oh, yes. No, again, it was much easier to talk about, but I don't want to see it again.
That being said, though, and I have to insist on this, no women boob punching. This this is a complete betrayal to the magic of the first movie.
Yeah, because that's actually what the real message of the first movie was. The best way to defeat your foes is to punch them in the boob.
But what if they don't have boobs?
Well, then kick them. I don't know. Think of something.
Depends, like which specific individual are we talking about? Like
I don't know. Maybe Abby from Last of Us 2.
Abby from Last of Us 2. Just shut her. Okay, just do what Abby does. So what Ellie does. Just drive a machete through her chest or something. There you go.
Oh, so let's see. As for the box office of this movie, it made $2,488,134 in DVD sales. So.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say it didn't get a theatrical release.
So was that enough? I'm gonna guess no, because last I checked, there's not a Happily Never After 3. Aw, what a shame. We could have seen how Rapunzel was done.
Honestly, there's plenty of movies and TV shows that I could watch if I want a twist on fairy tales.
Yeah, like literally Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time.
Yeah, close this out, Joe. Oh, speaking of that.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This movie. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. This movie is terrible. The animation is some of the worst I have seen, especially for a movie made in 2009. Even if it's direct-to-video, they could have done better than this. None of the voice actors return, and for a good reason. The continuity is an absolute shatters here, to the point where you think that everything is wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, messed up. The tone of the sequel does not even match that of the previous movie here and there. The morals are completely out of whack. Monk and Mambo are even more useless than before, and trust me, that's quite an accomplishment. So, yet something keeps having me come back to this movie in a so bad, I can't look away kind of way.
How many times have you seen this movie?
I'll admit, as a kid, I saw it a few times. I had no idea why I was so fascinated by it, but I think now I get it. It really does tie into this, though. Lady Vane is the most likable character in this movie. Yes, that's even considering the fact that she resorts to cold-blooded murder. Like, no, Lady Vane is the best character in this movie, and, Shiroi, I believe you would agree with me, they pretty much ruined her at the second to last second.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's nice. That's so nice of you, movie. Snow White's an absolute bellend, as Dwibs would put it. Again, I swear to God that.
Well, I mean, in her case, I'd say she's a cow.
Fair enough. I swear to God that king sounds like he's voiced by Noah North. Yet I can't seem to find Noah North being credited amongst the cast. I wonder if he went under like a pseudonym for this movie. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, apparently her father was actually King Cole, the merry old soul.
It's very simple, Jova. It's very simple, Jova. He's voiced by Viscount Nolan North.
Oh, okay. Apparently he was voiced by Cam Clark.
Well, yeah. There you go. Then Cam Clark kind of is a Viscount Nolan North when you think about it.
So I guess you could say he was voiced by Liquid.
and that guy from Eternal Sonata, who's the biggest moron ever. I forgot his name.
And also the guy. Oh, here's the thing. Cam Clark officially serves as a voice double for Matthew Broderick. No wonder he replaced him as Simba in Kingdom Hearts and other properties. So yeah, this movie
is something.
It again, like I said, it had no reason to exist. Yet, in a weird, whacked out way, I'm kind of thankful it does exist. I guess we can say that something, quote unquote, productive came out of the Happily Never After franchise. God help us all. Although this seems to be another case of German animators being pretty terrible. Like, there was Monster Family, and now there's this. What's next? Oh yeah, The Magical Voyage. And that also sucked. So, Happily Never After 2, Snow White, Another Bite at the Apple. You exist.
Or if you live in France, Once Upon a Time, Snow White, One Apple, Three Little Pigs, Seven Dwarves.
Yeah, the Three Little Pigs are technically in this.
Descriptive.
Or if you live in Italy, Snow White and the 007 Dwarves.
Oh my god. Oh, good night, folks.
Good night.